Hello, lovelies, and welcome to another episode of the Battle Basics. In this video and the few upcoming ones, I will start one of the most demanded topics that I have to cover. That is no other than the real-time strategy event formations. In this current video, I will give a small background and explanation about these events, and will explain some details you need to know before explaining the formations themselves. And in the next few videos, we will start the topic on how to design a proper RTS formation. But what are the real-time strategy events? There are currently 3 RTS events in this game. The first one that has been a part of the game for the longest as well is the Siege of Winterfell event. In this event, an alliance fights another alliance for 1 hour on a medium-sized map. The theme of this event is comparable to Alliance Conquest, where alliances compete with each other for points. The second one is Lost Realm. Lost Realm is an optional event that Alliance leaders can initiate weekly, where the Alliance fights NPC bosses and obtains green sight and other rewards from it. The third one is All Out War. The All Out War is a massive, multiple-faction fight event in which multiple alliances form factions, and each faction fights on a large-scale map for a month-long event. But this video is not to explain these events in detail, and that remains for a future video. While all 3 events have some major differences in the features available and the way they are played, there are several similar concepts that all of them share. Knowing these concepts is very important before designing the RTS formations. So let's cover a few of these basics together in this video. Unlike normal formations where you assign 5 commanders that each will then lead 1/5 of your army, in the RTS event, you assign 3 commanders to each formation. Each of these 3 commanders will then lead the entire army and gain damage from them and boost them in return. The order of commanders you put in a formation matters a lot, as they will cast their commander skills in the same order. There are some major differences with Commander Active Army skill casts in normal battles, and with the Commander's skill damage casts in the RTS events, which is a subject for future videos. But if we're going to cover the basics, we need to mention that, unlike the cooldown system that Active Army skill has and allows commanders to fight every few seconds in a normal battle, there is a new variable in the RTS events called Rage. As your army is engaging in a battle, the Rage bar starts to fill. When the Rage bar is filled, your first commander will cast their skill. Then again, by engaging in more fights, the Rage bar will start to fill again, which allows your second commander to cast a skill. So, the order of your commanders matters and determines the order they use the Rage bar to cast the skills. After your third commander casts a skill, it will rotate back to your first commander again. One important thing to know is that the Rage bar fills faster for armies with lower health, allowing the commanders to cast their RTS skills more frequently. The small bar next to your march shows your Rage bar, and the green bar on top of your marches shows their health bars. The next important parameter that is new to the RTS events in comparison to normal fights is resilience. March resilience is a number from 100 to 0, and determines how much it was used in battle and how much it has been walking on the map. As resilience drops by engaging in more fights or walking further, the damage your troops inflict on the enemy drop, and their damage against your march increases. The wounded and dead system in these events is also slightly different. In normal fights, a percentage of the damaged troops die, and the rest get wounded and go to your main hospital. In the RTS event, we have no actual troop deaths, but 2 different wounded statuses. The seriously wounded troops are removed from your active marches and go to the event hospital, where you can heal them and redeploy them in future marches. The casually wounded troops, however, stay with your active marches and can be healed by different means to immediately increase your already deployed march's army size, even middle of battles. If they are not healed mid-fight, by bringing that march home and redeploying it, you will immediately get access to reuse them again for your march, and you don't have to pay extra resources or speed-ups to heal them in the event hospital. As you can see, both resilience and troop health matter a lot for active marches. There are logistic marches that can deploy in most RTS events where they can replenish the resilience lost or heal the casually wounded troops by consuming wheat. There are also some special support commander skills that can help with this in battles. If we review the interface in-game, you can always actively watch the important numbers related to your marches, such as the troop count, the deployed commanders and dragons, and wagons used, the resilience, the wheat, and other resources your army is carrying, and their state. I will talk more about this interface and how you can use keyboard shortcuts and other things to actively control your marches in these events in later videos, where I discuss each RTS event with more details. So here are a few important notes to keep in mind before I start discussing the RTS formations. The order of commanders matters a lot, because that is the same order they will cast their skills. In these events, both commanders and dragons have special RTS skills that they use, which are significantly different from their normal fight's active army skills. So, to design a proper RTS formation, we need to consider these new skills and talk about how they synergize with each other and what's a smart order for them to be placed in the fight. There are 3 main RTS synergies, which at first glance look similar to the 3 normal attack synergies, but are conceptually different from them. So it's very important to look at these 3 synergies without bringing any of that background or considerations. The first synergy is skill damage synergy, which can be made with commanders like Layla and Kasana. The second synergy is the normal attack synergy, which should not be mistaken with the normal attack synergy out of RTS events that is mainly led by Sinara. In the RTS events, the normal attack synergy can be achieved with commanders like Jaime or Sararare. The third formation and synergy type, which has massive crossovers with the normal attack synergy here, is the tank and counter synergy, which can be achieved with commanders like Sinara or Vorian. I know this can be really confusing, as it is like a whole new world in comparison to the normal fights, but to know the similarities and differences between them is how you can understand the RTS formations and how to design them. I hope you found these details educational, and to follow me in the next few videos where I directly discuss and open up about each of these synergies and explain them. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it and leave a comment if you had any questions. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.